Storytown. New story, new adventure.
It was a cold and stormy night when Daniel's car broke down on a lonely road. The wind howled and the rain poured heavily. He was far from any town and his phone had no signal. He grabbed his flashlight and looked around. A few meters ahead, he saw an old house. It stood tall and dark, its windows broken, and its door slightly open. Daniel had no choice. He needed shelter. Slowly, he walked toward the house. As he stepped onto the porch, the wooden floor creaked.
He pushed the door open, and it let out a long, eerie squeak. He shone his flashlight around. Dust covered everything. Cobwebs hung in the corners. The furniture was old and broken. He called out, "Hello? Is anyone here?" But only silence answered. Daniel sighed. "I'll just stay here until the storm passes," he muttered to himself. He found a dusty couch in the living room and sat down. The wind rattled the windows and thunder rumbled outside. Then he heard it, a whisper, faint, almost like the wind, but different. Daniel froze. "Hello?" he called again. No answer. His heart pounded. He told himself it was just his imagination. He was tired and cold, but then the whisper came again. Daniel stood up and looked around. The room was empty. He walked to the hallway. A large mirror stood there, covered in dust. He wiped it with his hand. His reflection stared back at him. But then he saw something else. A shadow behind him. Daniel spun around, but there was nothing. The room was empty. His breath quickened. "Calm down," he told himself. "It's just your mind playing tricks." He decided to explore the house. Maybe there was a working phone. He found a long hallway stretched. There were several doors, all closed except one at the very end. It was slightly open. A cold breeze came from inside. Daniel walked toward it. The door creaked as he pushed it wider. Inside was a bedroom, abandoned like the rest of the house. He turned to leave when he saw movement in the corner of his eye. The whisper came again, louder this time.
"Go now."
Daniel's hands trembled. He took a step toward the closet and hesitated. Then slowly he pulled the door open. Nothing, just darkness and an old coat hanging inside. He let out a shaky breath and turned away. But as he stepped back, he heard something move. Then the coat inside the closet fell to the floor, and behind it something moved. Daniel ran. He reached the front door and yanked it open. But the storm outside was worse now. The wind howled, and rain lashed against his face. He couldn't leave. Then, the whisper turned into a voice, right behind him.
You shouldn't have come.
The door slammed shut on its own. He gasped and backed away. The air around him grew ice cold. His breath came out in white mist. Then, slowly, something stepped into view. He feels someone glided toward him, its presence heavy, suffocating. Daniel's body froze. He wanted to run, but his legs wouldn't move. The whisper returned, soft but clear.
Leave now, before it's too late.
He stood up and ran, his mind screaming for escape. He dashed into a room and slammed the door. His heart pounded in his chest. He pressed his back against the door, trying to calm his breathing. Daniel looked around desperately. There was a window. He rushed to it and tried to open it, but it was stuck. The footsteps stopped outside the door. Then a slow knock. The door handle turned and the door creaked open, though no one was there. Then a whisper right in his ear.
Run.
Daniel screamed and threw himself at the window. The glass shattered, and he fell onto the wet grass outside. He groaned in pain but forced himself up. He didn't look back. He ran. He ran through the rain, through the dark, through the storm, until he saw headlights in the distance. The driver, an old man, jumped out. "Hey, are you okay?" Daniel panted. "The house, it's haunted, something's in there." He looked toward the house. "Son, that house burned down 50 years ago. There's nothing there." Daniel turned. The house was gone. Only a field of wet grass remained. His body shook as the truth sank in. The storm raged on, but Daniel knew one thing. He would never take shelter in an old house again.
This was our story for today. If you liked it, be sure to like and share it. And subscribe to our channel. Thank you.